In 2017, Houston and the greater Houston region experienced one of the costliest and most devastating storms that has reached our shores. Houston and Harris County alone experienced nearly 50% of the damages statewide. While Houstonians are continuing to learn how to adapt and build resilience through past extreme weather events, we cannot do it alone. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018 directed the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to allocate no less than $12 billion for mitigation activities. These funds were to be distributed to support resilience building efforts proportional to amounts received from the CDBG DRA program for 2015, 2016, and 2017 disasters. In the past 6 years, Houston has experienced 7 federally declared disasters. In addition to the floods, our communities were impacted by the Winter Storm Uri in 2021. This year, hurricane season started earlier. Our climate impact assessment released in August of 2020 indicates that climate events will only continue to threaten our region with more extreme rainfall events. Our new model with the new precipitation data issued by NOAA has only expanded our floodplains and showed that our systems will need to handle more water. Houston and Harris County alone received nearly 50% of the funds distributed through the CDBG DRA program, which focus on housing programs. For infrastructure and hazard mitigation, Houston and Harris County alone received nearly 50% in total project funding from FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, administered by TDM as the lead state agency. Both of these programs have enabled the city and county to implement recovery programs that protect the most vulnerable and better prepare them for the next storm. Yet, for the CDBG MIT, the MID program, to date, Houston has received 0. It is as if Hurricane Harvey did not hit the city of Houston. I find that highly disturbing. Harris County received a small amount, which was specifically to smaller municipalities. This begs the question, why the most populous city in the state's economic engine, home to the largest port in the United States, home to the largest medical center in the world, has been left out of this program meant to protect, build forward, and help adapt to this intensifying climate risk. The reality is, but for the storm hitting Houston and Harris County, the $4.3 billion would not be coming to the state of Texas at all. Investments in the regions have taken place. Policies have been updated and continue to be to ensure Houstonians are protected. Green development is encouraged, but Houston cannot do it alone. Recovery will only be successful, as we have learned in the past, by ensuring government at all levels collaborate. Specifically, $4.3 billion was set aside for the state of Texas. As the lead agency that interacts with HUD, the GLO was set to administer these funds. Only $2.1 billion of the $4.3 billion total mitigation funds have been set aside for the Hurricane Harvey state mitigation competition statewide. But this competition limits applicants to 3 applications with another 3 partnership applications. Other program funding, the $2.2 billion has been allocated to 2015 floods statewide, coastal resilient efforts, hazard mitigation planning, administration, and council of governments. However, these do not allocate any funding, and I underscore any funding, directly to the city of Houston. The city did continuously caution the GLO on the issues of proportionality, as well as the challenges presented with the proposed program criteria. It was clear that the programs as drafted by GLO would not meet the needs of larger municipalities, penalizing denser areas. In comments submitted to the GLO in December of 2019 and in January of 2020, the city's chief recovery officer and myself described how the state's plan will leave Houstonians and people in Harris County woefully short in receiving the proportional share of the HUD MID dollars. However, more funding for mitigation projects would help communities to better adapt to extreme hazards. All of the warnings that we provided in 2019 and 2020 were ignored by GLO. Houston Public Works developed applications for flood risk mitigation projects that achieved the goals established by HUD. When you look at the dollars received that was issued by GLO, there is no way you can explain the $0 coming to the city of Houston. And let me conclude simply by saying, while the city was awarded for a smaller project for 2016 floods, in the first tranche of the Harvey funds, $0 were allocated for the City of Houston projects. These projects had all favorable benefit cost ratios and were selected to benefit the communities most vulnerable with the highest flood risk. City projects were located in historically underrepresented areas and complete communities: Fifth Ward and Market Square, Cashmere Gardens, South Park and Sunnyside, Pleasantville, and Huntington Village. The proposed improvements included in each project application were developed to provide substantial flood risk reductions upon completion while also accommodating future city projects. When you look at the scoring mechanism used by GLO, it was destined from the very beginning that the City of Houston and Harris County would end up, in this case, with $0 of the $4.3 billion. How you justify it, I do not know. But what I do know is that time is not on our side. And what I do know is that GLO has decided to take its time to submit its amended state action plan because there is no specific timeline allowed. And so today, the county judge and I submitted another letter to the Secretary of HUD requesting that she request that GLO submit its amended state action plan within the next 30 days. Otherwise, we will be waiting forever, but the storms will keep coming.